Okay, what's up, everyone? This is episode 2 of my little podcast. You know, the first podcast episode, I just did an intro where I talked about myself and gave my fitness background, you know, how exactly I got to where I am today. But how I want this podcast to be, can you set your timer too? Set it for like 25 minutes and then for 30 minutes. So we have like a 5-minute thing and then 30. So I want to
do 25 minutes first.
Yeah, do 25 minutes and then I guess 5 minutes. But how I want this podcast to be is I just wanted a Q&A style podcast. So my co-host here, Ronald Wayne.
What's up, guys?
Is good. He's a co-hostess with me, ask me the questions, and we'll kind of like both give our answers because he's a fitness guy too. So I wanted it to be a Q&A style podcast, pretty simple. And, so he's just going to pull up my – so yesterday I made a post on my Instagram, the graphic. I made a post on my Instagram that asked for your guys' questions, and he's just going to pull up my Instagram and read off the questions. I made it on Duncan Lucas and LBD workouts. So he's just going to read off the questions. You know, I wanted these questions to be fitness related or really anything. I don't want them to be like simple, like, hey, when is the best time to do cardio? I kind of wanted them a little more in depth. That's the reason for a podcast, to make long form content, kind of in audio form. But as we go, we'll get a better, the people or you will get a better sense of what questions to ask. But, for episode 2, for the first Q&A style one, we'll just go with what we have. So he's going to pull up my Duncan Lucas Instagram and go to the podcast question. If it's inappropriate, don't ask it. But... And I'm going to try to,
Help me out here. Where am I going?
Okay.
Yeah.
This one right here. And then just read off the questions. I mean, yeah. Like the first one. And then say, this is from user, whatever the name is, and ask the question. And just read it word for word. All right, so here we go. First question. Let's go.
All right, first question is from Al _ Al, I'm going to slaughter some of these names.
Wait, is it the two obelisk Espanol question? That's not a question, bro.
All right, so let's
Ask the Trill Cotton one. That was a good one.
All right, so This one's from Trill Cotton. And his question is, I usually work out between 1.5 to 2.5 hours. Is that too much? Also, could I condense it? Thanks again. Currently working on your 8-week program, and it's awesome.
That is an excellent question. At Trill Cotton. So he's working out 1.5 to 2.5 hours. So here's the deal. So with these questions, I'm going to try to kind of ramble a little bit to give a long response. But here's the deal. When you say working out, I would ask, are you referring to weight training or are you referring to weight training and cardio? So if he's working out an hour and a half, 2.5 hours, I wish, he was here or we were chatting with him live, and I would say, do you mean weight training 1.5, 2.5 hours? Or do you mean weight training and cardio, total in the day or one session? I would say if you're weight training 1.5 to 2.5 hours in one session, that's way too long. Would you agree?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. How long do we weight train? 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Maximum. Me and Ron work out together, and our workouts are 90 minutes max, or really 60 minutes. So I would say yes, that's too long. But if you're referring to working out as weight training and cardio, then 2.5 hours may be what's right for you. So, right now I'm doing 45 minutes of cardio in the morning, and then we weight train for 60 minutes, let's say, in the afternoon. And then I just started doing 15 minutes post cardio. So that's 75 minutes plus 45 minutes. That's what, an hour or 120 minutes? So that's 2 hours. So I could say I work out 2 hours a day, but it's, how it's spread out, and I'm only weight training for 60 minutes. So if you're saying you're weight training for an hour and a half, 2.5 hours, yeah, that's way too long, bro. But I'm glad you're liking my 8-week plan, and I look forward to your overall transformation. Good question. All right, next question.
All right, so the next question, he wrote 3 questions. It comes.
This guy?
No, it's a girl. Actually.
Oh, girl? Okay. Ladies,
Conifer Jen says...
Oh, Conifer Jen, yes.
What is a reasonable amount of weight to lose in a week while cutting without losing muscle?
Okay, let's take it question by question. Okay, great question here. So what's the reasonable amount of weight to lose in a week
while cutting without losing muscle?
Okay, so the most or the greatest percent body fat you can lose in 1 week. Granted, like you're eating right or eating everything on your meal plan, doing your cardio, exercising. The most amount of fat you can lose is like 1% of body fat per week. So this question is kind of confusing too, because obviously the bigger you are, the more fat you're going to have to lose, or the more fat you can lose. If you're starting already kind of lean, then you're not going to lose as much weight as someone who's, a little heavier. So I can't give an exact answer, but I'll just say around 0.5 to 1% of body fat per week is ideal. And you said she has 3 questions?
Yeah, she has 3 questions.
Okay, what's the next question?
Let's see. Looks like, why does the Smith machine get such a bad rap? Do you think it's just as effective as its counterpart for particular exercises such as squats, rows, etc.?
Another good question. So I've always been a big fan of the Smith machine. The Smith machine, obviously, the bar that's on the hooks, and it's not. So I'm a big fan of the Smith machine because you don't have to balance the weight. So you can really focus on just like pumping out the reps. And for me, I have a knee injury. I tore both my quadriceps 4 years ago. I'm sure if you follow me, you know that. So I stay away from free weight barbell squats, and I prefer the Smith machine for squats because you can really just concentrate on going up and down and not balancing the bar. We do Smith machine like every workout almost. Yeah, like every leg workout for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know. What do you think about the Smith machine?
I love the Smith machine. Like you said, especially like if you have an injury, it keeps everything intact. And
do you feel you get a better pump using the Smith machine as opposed to like free weight barbell on squats or like even bench press?
Just depends on what exercise I'm doing. Probably get a better pump free weight, but
okay.
Yeah,
you do
but
get a better pump free weight.
Yeah.
Okay. See, I like the Smith machine because it's risk. It helps prevent injury, especially, but also because you can really just focus on pumping out reps instead of balancing the bar. And I will say I would never do all my exercises on the Smith machine. I think you should have a free weight foundation. And I also think when you're first starting out, you need to get the free weight exercises down, like free weight barbell squat. I say I don't free weight barbell squat anymore, but okay, so I've been lifting for like 15 years. In the first, 8 years, I did barbell squats heavy and, for reps. So I won't say stick only to the Smith machine, but the Smith machine gets a bad rap because I think people just are misunderstood about it. Good question.
All right, so I think we should give someone else a chance.
Okay, give someone else a chance. Thank you, Conifer. What was her name? Conifer Jen?
Conifer Jen.
Conifer Jen, thank you very much.
Let's see. Let's scroll down. How can I build my body without going to the gym? Is that even possible?
That was a question?
Yeah.
Well, hold up. That's a serious question.
Okay.
Because I design home workouts too.
Okay, so this question was from Wild Beast.
So this is a legit question. So I would follow up the question with, do you have a home gym?
Right.
No, I'd follow up the question with, what equipment do you have at the house? Now, I'm assuming, when they say without going to the gym, they probably mean like they have no equipment whatsoever. So I do have a lot of clients who I give body weight, workouts to, and they're able to lose weight. Now, you won't, was this a guy or a girl?
I would have to click the profile. Looks like a guy.
Okay, it's a guy. I say is it a guy or girl because if it's a guy, he probably wants to add a substantial amount of muscle. Maybe not, but I will say if you have no equipment whatsoever and you do body weight workouts from home, you can definitely lose body fat. And you can get lean and, toned too, but you're probably not going to add a substantial amount of muscle simply because you don't have, you can't add resistance. So there's nothing wrong with that. Most people I help are not trying to get big and bulky like me or like a bodybuilder is. So you can definitely work out from home doing bodyweight exercises like jumping jacks, planks, push-ups, sit-ups, burpees. And, there's a ton of bodyweight exercises you can do, but you're not going to build a muscular physique doing that, but that may not be your goal. But his question was, how can I get built without going to the gym? Just do push-ups every day.
Yeah, push-ups.
Yeah. All right, next question.
Next question is from Islam_Samo. Want to know your opinion about cooking frozen food, chicken or beef to save some money? Is it bad for your health?
What does he mean? He means like buying the frozen meat?
Cooking.
It probably means like buying it frozen from the grocery store instead of fresh. Okay. What do you do? Or what foods?
Well, I buy it fresh, and I actually, I buy it in bulk, and then I'll freeze it. To save, like he said, to save
Well,
some
I think
money.
he's referring to like when you buy the frozen chicken in the bags. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the frozen chicken.
Where it says it's like with a bunch of sodium to preserve it and stuff. What was his question? Is that okay to do? Yeah, that's okay to do. I mean, the biggest thing is a lot of people will ask like, oh, do you eat organic or, hormone free and stuff? Yes, there, some meats, the hormone free meats and like natural fed and all that stuff is probably ideal. But like, dude, when I was competing in bodybuilding, I just bought the cheapest stuff because I was broke. So, I mean, I think a lot of people overthink it, and I wouldn't even worry about the quality of food you're buying unless you like are doing pretty good for yourself and, aren't worried about spending on groceries. Yes, I would say that's perfectly fine. The biggest thing is just make sure you're drinking a lot of water, taking care of yourself, like taking care of your body, not doing stupid stuff on the weekends, and, eating that frozen meat. It's not going to do anything to you. I mean, come on. Now, it's probably not ideal. Like, so the chicken I buy is not frozen. It's fresh. I buy all my food fresh. I don't like to buy anything frozen, even if it's like veggies and stuff. But, I don't know how old. He probably didn't say how old he was, but it's not going to affect. It's not going to affect the way you look. Just whenever you get some money in the bank, start buying better quality. That's what I would say.
All right. Vitamin K Fitness asks, can I burn fat without doing cardio?
It's a good question. Vitamin K Fitness, another one of my clients. Awesome transformation. What's your opinion on this?
Absolutely.
So what would they need to do?
You can do HIIT.
Well, no. They say cardio, though.
No, it says, can I burn fat without doing cardio?
Yeah, so HIIT's cardio, though. No, I think they mean like exercise cardio at all.
Yeah, you can still. I think you can still burn
through
fat.
diet.
Through diet, but through
work,
like vigorous workouts. Like,
oh, you mean HIIT, like weight training?
Yeah, weight training. HIIT. Yeah.
Okay. What's that? Well, the answer is yes, you can, but so most people, if you want to get super lean, you're probably going to have to. I mean, I would ask, how lean do you want to get? Like, I've worked with a lot of people. Excuse me, I've worked with a lot of people who they just change up their diet and they're able to lose a lot of weight because they go from eating crap to eating 4 or 5 portioned out meals a day, and their overall calories are lower. So, I've worked with some people who literally don't even exercise at all and they just diet and they lose like 40, 50 pounds, because they had a lot of weight to lose. Yeah. But I would say, yes, you can. But if you're trying to get super lean, I know me personally, I'm not going to get lean unless I do cardio. And the thing with, when I say get super lean, I mean below like 8%. If you're trying to get below like 8% and you're a guy, a male, you're probably going to have to add some cardio unless you got some crazy genetics. I mean, there's always somebody who, has always stays shredded and just eats whatever they want. But for most people, yes, you can lose body fat without doing cardio. But if you want to get super lean, you're probably going to have to do cardio. I mean, when I'm doing, when I competed in bodybuilding and was trying to get, freaky shredded, like 4%, I was doing up to like 2 hours a day. Oh, this one, I had something on mind too. This one I wanted to say about the problem with just losing fat through diet alone is you're not going to be able to eat enough food to keep your muscles full. So if you're really trying to have like a full, round, lean physique, you want to keep your food intake high, and then you burn the fat by doing the cardio. So that's kind of like a little more advanced, and that's really if you're trying to like build an ideal, or not an ideal, but that's really if you're trying to build like a really muscular physique. But you can burn fat without doing cardio, basically.
Okay.
You may just not be able to get super lean. Good question, Vitamin K Fitness.
All right, so a lot of these questions are about like the foods to eat, and I'm pretty sure you have that for.
Go to LBD workouts. There's 7 questions. Search LBD _workouts. There's like 7 questions on there. There was a couple good ones.
All right, let's see. On your last post. Oh, no, here we go.
Yeah, on the graphic one, yeah.
All right, cool. Let's see. You might have answered this. What are your thoughts on working out while fasted?
Oh, no, I didn't yet. Okay, this is I'm glad I got this question. So the question, who is it from?
This question's from Bell.all.
So the question is, what are your thoughts on working out while fasted? Man, I could talk a lot about this subject because I think a lot of people are confused and they got the what's it called? The idea syndrome is when they just hear a fad and they run with it. So fasted, when you say the word fasted, I think a lot of people are confused. So I like, because one of the questions I get a lot is, what do you think about intermittent fasting? And my silly answer is I think I intermittent fast every single night when I go to bed, because when I go to bed, my last meal is at 9 p.m. usually, and then meal one's not till 9 or 10 a.m. So I'm going like 12 or 13 hours without eating. Now, do you do the same?
Yeah, I do the same, but I've been waking up earlier.
Well, actually, you actually do intermittent fast. So no, you're not. Ron actually does fast because he works all the time. Like, you won't eat a lot of times till like afternoon.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, but not on purpose.
Yeah, it works out in my favor. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it works out in your favor because you're
That's
able
what I'm
to
trying to do.
yeah. So my whole thing is so my last meal was at 9. My first meal was like 9 or 10. That's 12 or 13. I mean, I'm fasting every day, but not on purpose. It's just like me living my life. So when you say fasted or intermittent fasting, I would ask, are you talking about like 18 hours fasting and 16? Intermittent fasting is like at least 16 hours without eating. And I think that's good to do sometimes if you're like detoxifying your body, but I don't think you're going to build like a muscular physique doing that. But I don't think it's bad to do if you just want to like lose weight quickly, and just are concerned about losing overall weight and not worried about losing any muscle. But the question was, what was the question again? What are my thoughts on working out while fasted? Is that what it was?
Yeah, working out while fasted.
So that's another thing when I would say, when you say working out, do you mean weight training or do you mean cardio or do you just mean anything? I would never weight train fasted because you want to have the fuel in your body to preserve that muscle mass. Now, it doesn't have to be a big meal. A lot of the times I'll get questions like, oh, I work out at 5 a.m. I don't have time to eat. Well, I just have, a scoop of whey protein and like a banana or something. So I would always recommend eating before weight training. But if he's talking about cardio, I actually would recommend doing cardio fasted. And that's what I do. And that's what I've been doing like, my whole 15 years of dieting and working out. Do cardio in the morning fasted. But when you say that to people, they think it's like, oh, what do you mean fasted? Like, it's some special thing. All it means is you just wake up, go to the bathroom, put on your daily facial cleanser, brush your teeth, Q-tip, put a Q-tip in your, and then go do cardio. It just means wake up and go do cardio. It's nothing like crazy, nothing complicated. But if you're talking about working out like weight training, no, I don't recommend weight training fasted.
All right. Next question comes from Aaron_Guapa, and he asks, does a high carb or a protein diet cause calcium deficiency?
Ooh, cause calcium deficiency? I would ask, why would it cause calcium deficiency? I would think if you weren't getting the proper nutrients in, or maybe if you're just eating the same foods over and over. But honestly, I'll have to refer to our resident doctor over here for that. I would say no. But, I mean, that's not my expertise. Calcium deficiency is not my expertise.
All right. Let's see here.
Is there any other good ones that I want?
Not really.
Or go back to Duncan Lucas.
Let's see what we got.
So in the future, email me. I'll make these posts on my Instagram, like asking for the questions for my podcast. But also you can email me and then just put Ask LBD. Ask LBD in the subject line. Ask your question. If you want to remain anonymous, just say so in the email. But in the future, email me, Ask LBD in the subject line, ask your question. And then I'll continue making the post on Instagram like a day before the podcast, asking for questions. But
I don't think anyone's asked you this. Or
okay.
How many hours do you sleep?
Oh, that was a question?
It's a question.
Who is that from?
This is from Cole_12.
Cole_12. How many hours do I sleep? Okay, I could ramble about sleep too. And let me do so. So sleep, well, how many hours do you sleep? You probably sleep less than I did.
5 to 6 now.
5 to 6. Now, is that 5 to 6 of like deep sleep? Or is that just 5 to 6? How many hours are you laying in bed?
I think that's about deep sleep. At least
Oh,
4.
really?
Yeah, at least 4.
So
Yeah.
you sleep 4
I go to
hours
sleep at
without
9:30 now. I shut it down like 9:30, 10 o'clock.
And then what time? So if you go to bed by 10 o'clock, what time do you wake up for the first time?
The first time is 4:45.
So you don't wake up from 10 o'clock to 4:45?
Yeah.
Like not even go to the bathroom?
Nah.
Oh, damn. That's pretty good. So I was going to say, though, the sleep thing, everyone's different. So I've met people, like if you guys, follow Kevin Hart or The Rock. I'm sure everyone knows who Kevin Hart is. He was just on Joe Rogan like a couple weeks ago. Like he's good with sleeping like 4 hours and he'll wake up, hit the ground running. But a lot of people will need like, 6, 7, 8 hours. The deal with sleep is, everyone's different. But when I'm going good, like feeling motivated in a routine, getting stuff done, I only need like 5 hours, 6 hours maximum of sleep. Because, if I'm like motivated and feeling, productive, I'll wake up and I can't wait to wake up and start working and like start doing my morning cardio and start the day. It's only when I'm, a little down feeling, not depressed, but like, not feeling as good about myself. That's when I'll lay in bed and sleep like 8-10 hours, like oversleep. But I would say if I get, 6 hours of laying in bed, that's not necessarily sleep, but like 6 hours. Because I asked Ron how much, like when was the first time he woke up? Because I think sleep is just, resting your body too. But as far as deep sleep, if I can get like 4 hours straight of deep sleep, oh, that's a ton. Like I'm going to wake up extremely rested. Now, when I say that, I mean 4 hours of like not waking up in the middle of the night. Because I'll wake up at least 2 times to go to the bathroom. But I would say 6 hours. And then I recommend people get 6 to 8 hours. But I think any more than 8 hours and you're kind of like, what is it called? There's a point of diminishing returns. Any more than like 8 hours and you're making
feel worse.
Yeah, you're gonna feel worse because you're gonna feel like lazy from just laying there. Now, there are days when I sleep in, like on the weekends sometimes, or like usually Sunday morning I'll wake up a little later, but I still don't like to go past that 8 hour mark. But to answer your question, 6 hours. I sleep 6 hours a night. Good question though, because the sleep thing, a lot of people. Sleep is very important, but I mean, come on, guys. You only live one life. You're not just gonna you're not just gonna sleep all day. Like, let's do something. Come on, get going. All right, any more questions on Duncan Lucas?
The rest of these are just like
the same thing.
Yeah, the same thing, and like for like personal clients, like best meals to bulk up.
Well, okay, I'll answer that one.
Okay.
Who's that one from?
This is from Flash 1983. Best meals to bulk up. I'm struggling at the minute, and it's actually It's a guy. No, it's a girl.
It's a girl?
Ashley.
It's a girl?
It's a girl.
What's she look like now?
The page is on private. But
okay.
But yeah, it says
the
Ashley.
lady's trying to bulk up. I like to see that.
That's why. Okay. Yeah, because usually for us, it's like not that hard for us to bulk up.
No, you see more. Well, a lot of ladies are kind of like not scared, but afraid to get bulky, quote unquote. But you're not going to get bulky unless you just eat the wrong foods. Okay, best way to bulk up. I'll tell you some exact foods here in a minute, but here's a quick way just to, for you to learn some more knowledge is, so protein and carbs are 4 calories per 1 gram. Yeah. And fat is 9 calories per 1 gram. So an easy way to bulk up and to add more calories to your diet, because bulk up, you want to add more calories basically. So an easy way to do that is add more fats into your diet. Now, when I say fats, I mean like healthy fats, so exact foods. What was the question? Best meals?
Yeah, best meals.
Well, I'll tell you best foods to add. So I would just continue doing what you're doing eating wise, assuming you're eating like 4 or 5 meals a day, and then just add either peanut butter, avocado, nuts like almonds, cashews, walnuts, or peanut butter, avocado, or like olive oil, macadamia nut oil. Add healthy fats to your diet, and that's an easy way to add more calories. So fat is more calorically dense, which basically means you can eat less of it but still get a lot of calories. Like if you eat a handful of nuts, that's going to be more than like a handful of rice. It's going to be more calories because fat is 9 calories per 1 gram as opposed to carbohydrates 4 calories per 1 gram. So that's what I always did when I was younger. I would eat, add more. I would just have like a handful of nuts with every meal. And I'd also go to like Wendy's fast food twice a day. But I wouldn't recommend doing that, especially. Now, some guys can get away with that if they have a lot of muscle. But but you want to do it. You want to bulk up the right way. So I would just say add more healthy fats to your diet. That's a quick tip, and that's actually super, super important that a lot of people don't know and don't do. Good question.
I think that's it.
We gotta wrap up here.
Yeah, I think so.
No more questions.
No more good questions.
Okay. So in the future, I'm going to make these posts on Instagram with my little graphic that says Ask LBD with the question. And then just comment your question. But also, I encourage you to email me, lbdtraining@lucasduncan.com. Email me with the subject line Ask LBD and then put your question. And then, like I said earlier, if you want to remain anonymous, just put that in the email. And I'll, we're going to try to do this podcast like once every 2 or 3 weeks. I'll continue doing it as long as you guys and girls give me good feedback and continue and like it. But for me, Lucas Duncan, for my co-host Ron,
What's up?
see you next time. Thank you.